Well, if you're watching us tonight, congratulations. That means you survived Thanksgiving Day shopping, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all the other shopping mayhem in between. And when we say mayhem, I mean mayhem. Malls, stores across the country saw huge crowds, all seeming to try and push their way to get those elusive deals inside the moment the doors open. In Texas, 2 women, they began fighting over a TV that was on sale at Walmart. Cops on the scene tackled one of the women, eventually handcuffing her. In Philly, this store, a fight happened at 2:30 on a Black Friday. 2 women in a brawl when one pulled out a taser and attacked the other. And even in stores and malls where nothing as dramatic happened, tell that to the people who were there. In some cases, survival of the fittest shopper here. I already see Jeannie, who's been, working out here to get ready for this past weekend. It's become a sport, but it's also become dangerous, and in many ways, Jeannie, I think for any store where this stuff happens, shame on them. They tell people they got a limited supply. You got to be there at a certain time, and basically you're on your own. All hell can break loose, but if you walk out with it, that's the sport of it. You better have security then if you're telling these people, it's Lord of the Flies, right?
Absolutely. This is insanity. I mean, it is insanity. And I don't know what these women are thinking, fighting over a TV or whatever they're fighting over, but absolutely, the stores are responsible. If you invite people in and you put these restrictions on it, you have to have security there. I mean, that's absolute insanity. I went shopping. I was fine. I beat up a few people and I got what I needed and I was fine.
Jeannie throwing out the beatdown. And Dom, one thing, it drove Andrew crazy about opening these stores on Thanksgiving, right? But they got sales on Thanksgiving, so this thing's going to be the new normal.
Of course they would. I mean, no offense, Andrew. I mean, because you were against them opening the stores.
I still am.
Richard and I strongly supported them opening the stores.
I don't think anybody should get fired if they don't want to work Thanksgiving in a profession like that. But Rich, you were saying before that you've got family from out of the country who don't live. They come to this country and they're like, "What's the deal with the shopping?" I mean, is it that?
Andrew's absolutely right. If you have a foreigner come here, and I'm not trying to be Pollyannish, but we are so consumerist as a country. We have to have everything. It's like the fight over the latest toy and stuff. You don't find that in other places. I'm not talking Timbuktu. I'm talking about Europe and other places where they don't understand the psychotic nature that we go through for these things. Anyway, it's just...
It's the Jerry Springer generation.
Well, let's get a question for, not the Jerry Springer, but the Jerry Kremer.
Thank you.
Yes. In terms of what's happening at other stores here, the big box stores, and how they've really, the Walmarts and everything else, that's what we're talking about. So many places have gotten shuttered right now. It's amazing in the last 20 years what's happened, right?
Well, your biggest problem, I think, is that a lot of county executives and a lot of major public officials have never really focused on downtown, development and downtown. There are a couple of places on Long Island, the village of Patchogue, for instance, where the mayor there has been aggressive in creating a new downtown. But the point is, there's no reason to say that all hope is lost and that the big box stores are going to put everybody out of business. The answer is come up with innovative ways to make downtowns work, through tax abatements, to bringing in hotels and various types of things. But the answer is government still has a role to make sure that box stores don't put everybody out of business.
And that whole Buy American thing, it sounds good, but they did something this weekend where they showed that you can get a lower price. You don't care if it's in China, wherever, it doesn't matter where it's from. That's what Americans are going to buy. So that whole idea of buy our own here sounds good on paper, but it didn't translate, at least from the latest numbers we've seen.
They shop when the other people don't shop.
Yeah, especially if you ever go to Woodbury Commons there. I think that's Exhibit A. Okay. We ask you the same question at home here when it comes to shopping. Is this Thanksgiving weekend shopping the new normal here? Something we ought to just get used to? Or is it not only out of control, but also turning some people off here where they're just not going to bother with these madness anymore? Go to Facebook and Twitter to sound off. I'm with you, Andrew. You couldn't pay me to go there. We're going to wrap things up on RFL right after this. Stay with us.